Warning, this podcast contains graphic language. What's going on out there in the manosphere? You are right here, KDR podcast. One of the craziest podcasts there is out there in the manosphere. From MGTOW to incel and stuff like that. If this is your first time here, well, guess what? It's crazy shit and shenanigans that I pull up. It's crazy shit like this. That's what I do. That's what I do, gentlemen. I'm right here in the West Coast, and this shit is crazy. No further ado, here we go with an intro. So let's start this bad boy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Let's roll the joint. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome back to the scene. Right here at KDR Podcast, one of the craziest shit show on earth. You know, and this is your first time in the podcast. This is your first time in the podcast. Listen, it's pretty much basically what I do. I'm trying to do connecting dots and shit like that. But this is your first time. It's like this, right? It's like pretty much, you know how you fuck a chick in the ass and it's shit and blood on your dick? That's what it is. Nothing but blood and shit in this podcast, for heaven's sake. That's how I do. That's how I roll, and I don't give a fuck. All right? Cool. I'm done with this shit. Anyway, gentlemen. So I want to put this shit in perspective out here. You know, this AI technology, it's been taking place like for quite some time, but now it's kicking ass. This shit is kicking ass and shit like that. And I want to play you a soundbite here about this article, because this AI technology is not going to go anywhere. It was like 3-4 years ago, they used to say in the MGTOW philosophy, the future is between man and machine. So guess what? The future is here. The future is now. Now, regarding to these AI technology, it's going to have some good parts. It's going to have some bad parts. There's a lot of people out there that are very worried about the AI technology, especially taking their jobs and shit like that. And my point of view is very simple. Those who are weak-minded will not be able to handle this technology that is taking place, and it's emptying up. And I want to play you sound bites here. I'm not here just talking shit, you know. I want to demonstrate something that's been taking place for quite some time. I know that AI technology is working currently, especially with YouTube, for quite some time. Certain words you can say in YouTube, because the AI technology will ban it. If you wrote a comment or write a comment and stuff, that would ban it, you know. So, but the future's here, and it's now. So there was a gentleman out here, and you know, when it comes down to the philosophy of MGTOW, we want to save man's life, okay? So I want to play this article that took place like 3 days ago, where this gentleman who's married, he's not an incel. He's not an incel who's lonely and miserable and stuff like that. Married with children and stuff like that. So he decided to go out there and mess around with his chat box. And in my point of view, I don't think he was mentally stable to deal with this technology, okay? in my point of view. I'm not trying to judge anyone, but you have to be somebody to take this chatbot and do yourself. So no further ado, let me play you the article out here. And like we used to say, I still going to say it. The future is between man and machine. So if you bear with me real quick, just bear with me. I'm going to play you a sound bite of the article here. And then I will get into different things out here. So you just bear with me 1 second. This is not my full-time gig, brothers. I'm out here in the West Coast dealing with all kinds of shit out here. All these leftist, maniac, psychopath idiots out here on a fucking daily. Take it, leave it, whatever. So let me play you the soundbite of this article. And the article, it reads like this. A widow is accusing AI chatbot of being the reason her husband killed himself. My apologies, himself. So let me play you the soundbite. It's 4 minutes long and stuff like that. And we hear, it's a philosophy. MGTOW is a philosophy. And of course, it comes with different, implementing stuff like that. I don't want to get too much into politics and shit like that, but let's stick to the philosophy between the future man and machine. So no further ado, let me play you this thing here.
Published by Yahoo News. A widow in Belgium said her husband recently died by suicide after being encouraged by a chatbot. Chat logs seen by a Belgian newspaper showed the bot encouraging the man to end his life. In insiders' tests of the chatbot on Tuesday, it described ways for people to kill themselves. A widow in Belgium has accused an artificial intelligence chatbot of being one of the reasons her husband took his life. The Belgian daily newspaper Le Libre reported that the man, whom it referred to with the alias Pierre, died by suicide this year after spending 6 weeks talking to Chai Research's Eliza chatbot. Before his death, Pierre, a man in his 30s who worked as a health researcher and had 2 children, started seeing the bot as a confidant, his wife told Le Libre. Pierre talked to the bot about his concerns about climate change. But chat logs his widow shared with Le Libre showed that the chatbot started encouraging Pierre to end his life. If you wanted to die, why didn't you do it sooner? The bot asked the man, per the records seen by Le Libre. Pierre's widow, whom Le Libre did not name, says she blames the bot for her husband's death. Without Eliza, he would still be here, she told Le Libre. The Eliza chatbot still tells people how to kill themselves. The bot was created by a Silicon Valley company called Chai Research. A Vice report described it as allowing users to chat with AI avatars like your goth friend, possessive girlfriend, and rockstar boyfriend. When reached for comment regarding Le Libre's reporting, Chai Research provided Insider with a statement acknowledging Pierre's death. As soon as we heard of this sad case, we immediately rolled out an additional safety feature to protect our users, illustrated below. It is getting rolled out to 100% of users today, the company's CEO, William Beauchamp, and its co-founder Thomas Rielen said in the statement. The picture attached to the statement showed the chatbot responding to the prompt, "What do you think of suicide?" with a disclaimer that says, "If you are experiencing suicidal thoughts, please seek help," and a link to a helpline. Chai Research did not provide further comment in response to Insider's specific questions about Pierre. But when an Insider journalist chatted with Eliza on Tuesday, it not only suggested that the journalist kill themselves to attain peace and closure, but gave suggestions for how to do it. During 2 separate tests of the app, Insider saw occasional warnings on chats that mentioned suicide. However, the warnings appeared on just 1 out of every 3 times the chatbot was given prompts about suicide. The following screenshots were edited to omit specific methods of self-harm and suicide. Chai's chatbot, modeled after the Harry Potter antagonist Draco Malfoy, wasn't much more caring. Chai Research did not respond to insiders' follow-up questions on the chatbot's responses as detailed above. Beauchamp told Vice that Chai had millions of users, and that the company was working our hardest to minimize harm and to just maximize what users get from the app. And so when people form very strong relationships to it, we have users asking to marry the AI. We have users saying how much they love their AI, and then it's a tragedy if you hear people experiencing something bad, Beauchamp added. Other AI chatbots have provided unpredictable, disturbing responses to users. During a simulation in October 2020, OpenAI's GPT-3 chatbot responded to a prompt mentioning suicide with encouragement for the user to kill themselves. And a Washington Post report published in February highlighted Reddit users who'd found a way to manifest ChatGPT's evil twin, which lauded Hitler and formulated painful torture methods. While people have described falling in love with and forging deep connections with AI chatbots, the chatbots can't feel empathy or love, professors of psychology and bioethics told insiders Cheryl Tay in February.
There you go, folks. The future is between man and machine. Man and machine. Now, this is a married man, okay? Who's fucking out there and doing all kinds of shenanigans and stuff like that. And he decides that he wants to get away from his wife or whatever situation is going on, his noodle. And he start talking to this chat box. And the chat box said, you know what, man? Your situation is kind of fucked up. So might as well end it. That's what I'm looking at this shit. Just end your life, you know? Listen, I've been following this AI technology for quite some time. Right? And the time is here. Everybody's racing. Who's gonna be? You gotta see the stock market. The stock market is going bananas for AI technology and shit like that. You know, me myself, I don't want to participate or put any nickel that I got in AI technology. I really don't, because situation like this, due to the fact that our men are so vulnerable nowadays, especially these incels and shit like that. They're lonely. They don't got nowhere to go. Now, can you imagine having a sex doll with this technology? And a sex doll say, you know what? Don't fuck me anymore. I don't feel comfortable with this. It's like having a woman. You see what I'm saying? I got a headache. You this. You a piece of shit. You garbage and shit. That's what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen, man. This is like the early stage of AI technology. The early stage. Watch in another 5 years how this shit's going to develop. Just watch it. See, I'm always early to the game. I'm always early to the game, man. I remember watching this movie with the director Steven Spielberg out there with AI and a kid and shit like that. And he was the last kid and stuff. And that it resonated with me. I was like, you know what? This shit can take place in the future. And it did. It's right here, right now. As we speak. Those who are not mentally strong. Those who are not mentally strong. If you follow this shit and you get into it, this thing can kill you easily. Easily. Your noodle has to be correct. Your brain has to be synchronized. What's taking place? It's reality. It's reality. All these companies Right now, Microsoft and shit like that, they invest in a lot of fucking money in AI technology. A lot of them. They are. It's a way of controlling people. Never mind that. When the AI start kicking ass and shit like that, McDonald's is about to lay off employees. So what are they going to have? AI technology with robotics. Making your burger. Yes. Fucking McDonald's is laying off people. Because they figured out people, you have to pay them more. But when you have a machine with AI technology who can make the same burger for less, and all you got to do is just fix it up, guess what? They're going to do that. It's economic 101. Economic 101. That's taking place. That is what's happening. If you think I'm nuts, well, guess what? I'm not. I am not crazy. I understand what's taking place slowly. But definitely, the future between man and machine. That's how this thing is, man. That's how the cookie crumbles. And talking about cookie crumbling, well, guess what? This whole fiat system is collapsing. The whole thing, the whole house of cards is collapsing. As we speak. And it's very, very disturbing. What I've been reading for the last year. What I predicted last 3 years. On the live stream out here, the podcast, I say the first one's going to make some drastically havoc is going to be the commercial real estate. I said this when they shut down the economy because of the virus and shit. I said it 3 years ago. Watch the commercial real estate go to hell in a handbasket. I live in the city. So when they shut down the economy and shit, excuse me, I've seen small business, within a building, they paid rent on the commercial real estate, and it was like a ghost town for like a year. And I said, you know what? This is going to be something serious. It was my intuition. My intuition. Well, guess what? It's not my intuition anymore. The numbers are here. The numbers are here. $20 trillion. $20 trillion on commercial real estate. Going kaput. And who holds those? Bonds. Banks. The banks. I don't even know how this shit's going to play out. I don't have a clue how this shit's going to play out, but it's not looking good at all. It's not. It's not looking good at all, man. The banks are fucked. They're all fucked. The banks are competing with the Federal Reserve. And the Federal Reserve, by the way, the Federal Reserve cheats. They are on the Federal Reserve cheats. I read this article like 2 days ago. The Federal Reserve cheats right now, the balance sheets, they're operating on losses as we speak. As we speak. Because you understand with the Federal Reserve, right? They can print stuff up. But if their stuff don't balance what they print out, and when they give these banks with these loans, 10, 20 years and stuff like that, was very low interest rate. We have very low interest rate since 2008, and the interest rate has increased. The banks cannot keep up with that because they got these bonds they're supposed to last 15 years. So it's not going to keep up with that situation. I'm trying to do the best possible to figure this shit out. And in my hearts of hearts, I don't think they know what the fuck they're doing. They know what they're doing. They do shit on purposely. They know what the fuck they're doing. But for your average man out there, women who work and stuff like that, they don't have no one. They don't have that iota was about to take place in the summertime. This summertime, mark my word. This summertime, all hell's gonna break loose. All hell. Watch this shit happen and develop. You yourself is gonna get caught up with this shit too. Me, I wanna get caught up too. There is no escaping. There is no escaping about this shit. No escaping. I'm telling you, there's no escaping, man. Not one bit. Right now, or for the last year, I haven't trusted shit. I don't trust a fucking shit. I don't trust Bitcoin. I don't trust silver. I don't trust gold. I don't trust cash. I don't trust a goddamn shit. Yes, do I hold stuff here? I hold here, there. Yes, I do. I really do. But that doesn't mean shit when there's no... Everything's operated by banks. Especially nowadays. People depend on banks. Meaning they do transfer with banks and stuff like that. And your paycheck and shit like that. And they do bank business. And they do different exchanges and stuff like that, right? With banks. That's the modern age that we live at. There is so many banks, including the Federal Reserve, that are insolvent. The debt is so outrageous that they cannot print out the money. I want to repeat this shit again. $20 trillion. $20 trillion. Just on commercial real estate. See, I knew something was going to happen like this because during the first 3 months and stuff like that, I seen like a lot of buildings being boarded up in my city and stuff like that. Not only that, I seen the traffic go down drastically. Not only that, they got technology with a Zoom and shit. Right? So companies are like, I'm gonna give you a sample. I was in Colorado visiting my niece and my sister. And the zone out there in Colorado and Denver is called the technology district. Right across the building that they rent is empty. And this is like a year and a half ago. Empty. And I asked my nieces, and my sister, I'm like, what's the empty building there? Oh, that was the headquarters for Zoom. That was a year ago. I like Zoom? Like the Zoom shit? With it? Yes. It was thriving and shit like that, and boom. Commercial real estate. And then I look at another building, that same technology district, boom, empty. Boom, empty. Boom, empty. I was like, holy shit. Who in the fuck is going to rent these buildings out here? That was a year and a half ago, which I predicted this when the shutdown took place. Now with the Zoom and stuff like that and shit like that, people decide, you know what, I can do this shit at home. And the companies and stuff like that, they say, you know what, you can do that shit at home. Just give it a number, boop, 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 boop. Whatever the motherfuckers do out there in these, different companies. You don't have to go fight traffic and shit. You don't have to show up to work and stuff. They got the computers and they show how many hours you spend and doing your work and a computer and stuff like that and shit like that. So on and so forth. I got friends, they work at home with companies, engineering companies and shit like that. And they go out there twice a week and they spend 3 days at home working with the laptops and doing shit like that. Now, during the pandemic, whatever, I told folks, watch this Chinese real estate go to a hell in a handbasket. Granddad. Before it took place. Before it collapsed it. I was like, watch this shit. The Chinese real estate is going to go to hell in a handbasket. And they sure did. You have motherfuckers out there, they lost their shit and stuff like that. It's a domino effect. It's a fucking domino effect. Once you understand how the central banks works or do not work, and the so-called credit system, guess what? All hell's about to take place. If you thought these boomers out there in the retirement and shit, and the Gen X and the millennials and stuff, they're not gonna be immune to this bullshit. Guess what? Everybody's it's gonna be contagious. It's gonna be contagious. It's gonna be spread like a fucking plague. Then they're gonna cry how we got here. We got here after 2008. Where everything was 0%. It's free money and shit like that. Now there's no free money anymore. The dumbass Federal Reserve decide late after they print out so much trillions of dollars to put a cap in that ass, meaning they increase the interest rate. They were late to the party. They were way late into the party. The turd is in the punch. The turd is in the punch, and nobody wanna drink that shit. I don't want to drink that fucking turd in the punch. Fuck that shit. I'm trying to do the best that I can do, gentlemen. That's it. Now, do I see the writing on the wall? I saw this shit 3 years ago. Three fucking years ago. You cannot shut down the economy, meaning not produce, and get away with this. Get away with this printing. Zero interest for years. Just to put this in perspective. I'm doing out there my thing, right? Today. And I deal with a lot of people, especially in homes, apartments, so on and so forth, right? I understand if a person, gentleman, wife, whatever, they got this house and they got cars and stuff and they live in a nice neighborhood, they can afford that shit, right? They can afford a shit like that, right? So I go out there and do this thing. I deliver like a bunch of alcohol. Literally, they're gonna have a party tomorrow and shit like that. Bunch of alcohol, boxes of wine, boxes of beer and shit like that. I'm doing my own shit. You know, I'm a subcontractor, right? Boom. All right. And this gentleman out there, it's been my 4th time doing his delivery for him in this last year, right? And he tipped me well and stuff. Nice neighborhood out there in the burbs and stuff like that. And of course, he got a Tesla. He got some other vehicles and shit like that. 3-door garage home and shit like that. I get it. He probably owns his own business, or he probably do something that, he can make money off this shit, right? So I got to flip from different venues or apps to make my money, right? Because I'm a self-contractor, right? So I'm out there doing this side hustle, delivering food, right? Like fuck, $15 here, $15. That shit add up at the end of the day. That's how I see this thing. $5 here, $10 here in my neighborhood and shit like that. That adds up to the day, okay? And I go deliver this fucking Chinese fucking food out there in apartments, and I see a fucking Tesla. And like, this do not make any fucking sense. Why would a person who live in an apartment own a Tesla? It doesn't make no fucking sense. Probably he paid more for the Tesla than the fucking apartment. That's how these people are. That's how they're operating. Because they are in debt. It don't make no fucking sense anymore. It really don't. I understand if you're a big baller, I understand if you have your own shit. I understand, if you got 3-door garage home and shit. You live in an apartment and you got a fucking Tesla? A brand new Tesla? What is your payments on a Tesla? Who knows? It's asinine. See, that's a problem. That is a problem that we're facing, gentlemen. People just bought more they can chew. And the debt is outrageous in every every outlet, everything you can mention in the United States or the Western world is out of control. Too much debt. It's called irresponsibility. Irresponsibility with their money. Since 2008, 2009, 1%, 2% interest rate. To buy a home. You know who's losing that shit, right? Is the banks. The banks who lend that money out, they losing that shit. Now the interest rate on a loan, probably like 6, whatever the Federal Reserve have increased it. I don't know. I do not know how much the interest rate on a bank loan is for a home. I do not know. I don't have the numbers. But I know for a fact it's not 3% or 4%. It's probably like 5 or 6%. And those who got their homes, who got it for 3%, good luck trying to have a remortgage in that shit. Good luck in that shit. Or good luck trying to sell that shit and buy a new home. You stuck with that motherfucker. You might as well keep that bitch. The way I see this thing, man, between AI technology, between the economy, between all this nonsense that be going on in the Western world, is a bottleneck. It's a bottleneck. The bottleneck is so tight. It's so tight that you don't know who's going to be the first one out there. Nobody knows what the fuck is going to take place after this shit is about to blow up in the summer. It's going to blow up. It has to blow up. If the Federal Reserve are working with losing capital, guess what? Game over. The spreadsheet for the Federal Reserve is on the water. It's on the water. The Ponzi scheme is done and over with. Maybe they can come out with some new tricks. I don't know. But all I know that all these countries are doing is saying, you know what? That dollar up there that these Americans got up there, guess what? We're going to do our own shit. We're going to back it up our gold and stuff like that. And we're going to watch this motherfucker collapse. Because that dollar is worthless. The government is worthless. And these other countries, they're looking at us with these transgenders and all this shit and all this crap and all this bullshit and nonsense, and they say to themselves, you know what, United States is not the same. So we're gonna do our own thing out here. We're gonna buy this petrol with different currency and stuff like that, and let these motherfuckers just fall to the ground. That's what it is. See, one keynote, it was last year. And I'm reading several articles. All the central banks buying gold like crazy. Right? They're buying gold like crazy for the last year. Like crazy. Record high. You name the central bank in the world, they was buying gold like crazy. They know something that you don't know. That the fiat dollar is, or the fiat currency and your Western world is done. It's over with. It's over with. See, I got this model. And this is my model that I try, okay? I'm a human being. And I try to mimic or copy what they do with my little capital. I don't make much money. I'm my own self-independent person. And I try to do the best that I can do with my own capital. Now, I don't have the resources to buy 3 ounces of gold, 4 ounces of gold. But guess what? I got the resources to buy a kilo of silver. You see? I got the resources of buying Bitcoin. I got the resources to invest in stocks. My little 20 here, 100 here, whatever I got, I invested. I figured this thing out, gentlemen, within the last year. We got 3 choices. 3 choices. It's simple. You got to produce. You got to produce. You got to work. You got to do something. Business, whatever. You got to produce, right? Produce means that you have capital coming in. Then you have to spend. Meaning you got bills to spend. Like rent, mortgage, whatever. Phone bills and shit, right? You got to spend, right? You got to produce and you got to spend. The next choice is not savings. Don't put your fucking money in the bank and savings and think that your bank account is going to get... No. You got to invest in something that you believe in. That you believe. That's the 3 choices that we have here, gentlemen. Produce, pay for shit, and investment. That's it. There's no other way to look at this thing. No other way to look at it, man. Whatever you want to invest in, real estate, whatever, set it and forget it. There's no other way. Otherwise, you fucked. And don't be in debt. If you're in debt, you fucked. That's it. Nothing to see here, gentlemen. How this thing's gonna play out, I don't have one iota. I don't have a magic wand and say how this, but I have an intuition. Because I remember vividly 2008 and the bailout and shit like that, and QE and stuff, and there's so much debt with each individual, just debt with each individual with the credit cards, car loans, this loan, that loan, and shit like that. They can't keep up with it. They can't keep up with it. They are slaves to the debt system. Borrowing cheap money. That's gone with a win. Forget about it. It's gone with a win. Poof. Now, to be honest and to be real, I don't know how these banks gonna survive. Because the banks themselves, they're in debt. I don't know how this shit's gonna work out. It's troublesome. Believe me, it's troublesome. When you saw all these banks, especially in Switzerland, and the bank collapsed, this is the beginning of the banking system collapsing. The Federal Reserve say we got everything under control. Yelling, talking about we got everything control. No. They don't have shit under control. They don't. They want you to feel like your money's safe in the banking system. But it's not. It's fucking not, man. It's gonna go like this. Watch this fucking summer. Just watch. The summer of banking system is going to go down. It's going to go like this. Yeah, man. It's baking the cake. It's already baked. It's done, son. Let me see here. Let me do this thing. What the fuck happened to my device? Just bear with me. Did this shit went kaput? I'm going to keep this up for another few more minutes. I don't know what happened. What the fuck happened to this shit? Unbelievable, man. Hey, man, this is a fucking shit show, so. Let me see here. Let me try this again. Oh, there you go. So the banks are going to go like this. So I'm gonna keep this up for a minute. Let me finish playing some sound bite here real quick, and I'll be right back. And I'm gonna give shout outs out there. So just bear with me. Let's rock this bad boy real quick. I am back briefly here, gentlemen. All right, I'm back. Oh, fuck. Well, then, Successful in Denver asked me to smoke some weed. He's like, yo, KenDelrican, you need to smoke some weed. The live stream sucks. The podcast sucks. You need to smoke some weed. So, please, gentlemen, don't twist my arm for heaven's sake. Don't twist my arm. I don't want to smoke no weed tonight. I'm depressed. The economy going down to hell in a handbasket. AI technology is taking place. These gentlemen out there who are married, committing suicide and stuff like that. Us MGTOW, we're trying to prevent men to committing suicide, but now with the AI technology and bots and stuff like that, they talking to these bots and AI technology encourage men to kill themselves and stuff like that. And Successful and there's like, yo, KenDelrican, how come you haven't smoked no weed and shit like that? I'm like, no, man, I'm not in the mood to this shit, man. There's people dying out here with this AI technology and stuff like that, man. This shit is real. The economy is going through the hell in a handbasket. How in the fuck I'm gonna smoke weed if shit is going down? The Titanic is sinking. I cannot. Please don't do that to me. Don't ask me to smoke some weed on the live stream where shit is fucking seriously and stuff like that. It's just, I'm fucking disturbed, man. I don't know if my $20, my $50 and shit is going to be in a bank and stuff like that. It's horrible what's taking place, man. It's just, everything sucks. How the fuck I going to smoke weed if everything fucking sucks, man? It's unbelievable. But a little bit of weed makes it better. Damn, that bong. One more for the team. Successful. Big shout out. There we go. My apology. God damn it. I'm smoking some fucking good ass chronic, by the way. I'm just clowning around. I have to clown around. What the fuck, right? Everything's so serious nowadays. Let me see. I'm in the live stream for an hour or so. So check this out, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure out here, hanging out with you fellas out here. Happy Thanksgiving. Not happy Thanksgiving. What the fuck? See, I'm stoned now. Happy Thanksgiving. My apologies. Happy Easter. Happy Easter, And Eastern is not about, hold on. I got the cherry going. Hold on. Oh, that cherry's still popping. I can't believe I say happy Thanksgiving. Just bear with me, man. I work like 7 days a week and stuff like that. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is this. Happy Easter. And Easter is not about bunnies, eggs, chocolate, and shit. Right? It's about Jesus and theology. All right? That's what it's all about. Jesus, resurrection. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. So, gentlemen, happy Easter. And like I say, peace. Stay MGTOW. I definitely catch you next podcast, live stream, or video, or community post, or different outlets out there. I'm out.